For the first-time homebuyer, there's a lot to know about. Maybe your parents have purchased homes before and they have great advice for you. But if your parents haven't bought a home in a couple of decades, or if your parents grew up in another country, have never bought a home here, or if you come from a long line of renters and you want to be the first person to be a homeowner, then you need some advice. That's what I'm here for. I'm Kelly Vandiver. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams North Atlanta. Let's look at a list of things that are important for you to know as a first-time homebuyer. The first item on our list, at the risk of sounding self-serving, is find a good real estate agent. It's no coincidence that 88% of homebuyers use a real estate agent. That's not 88% of new homebuyers, that's of all homebuyers. So find a good real estate agent. If you're looking in the North Metro Atlanta area, I'd love to be that person. If you like what you're hearing, give me a call. Otherwise, I'd start by asking friends and family who they used as a real estate agent and really liked. If you trust their judgment in other areas of your life, you should be able to trust their judgment on real estate agents. If you don't have recommendations from other people, I suggest you visit some open houses and meet some real estate agents that way. See if you hit it off with them, if you think you would enjoy working with them. Or you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to try to find a good real estate agent in your area. There are many reasons to hire a good agent. I go through several of those in another video, which I'll put a link here for that. For our purposes here today, as a first-time homebuyer, the first thing on your list should be finding a good real estate agent. The second item on our list is finding a good lender. Assuming that as a first-time homebuyer you're not paying cash, finding a good lender is very important to your journey in buying that first home. Good real estate agents have lenders that they trust, that they know will take good care of their clients and work very hard for them. I never tell a client they have to use one of my lenders. That would be unethical. People have the right to shop around for their lender. Plus, you may have a friend or a family member who is a lender and you want to use them to get your home loan. But if you don't already have a lender, a good real estate agent is going to connect you with a good lender. One of the first most important things that a lender can do for you is to let you know how much of a loan you qualify for and what those monthly payments will look like. You might be surprised that you qualify for a home at a lot higher value than you think you do, but then when you look at the payments, you may not be comfortable with those payments. So be sure to find out not just what kind of a home you qualify for, but what those loan payments will look like in the end. Another reason to find a good lender is that you're going to want a pre-approval letter when you submit offers on a property. That will make your offer much stronger. And in fact, when I am the listing agent, I will call the lenders and make sure that the person buying the home is a solid person and that they're going to be able to close the deal. Good lenders will call the listing agent. They'll let them know how strong their buyer is. They will help them get the property under contract. Again, the second step is finding a good lender, and a good real estate agent can help you with that as well. Item number 3 is you need to be financially ready to buy a home. You have to have enough money saved up. There are at least 3 things that you'll need the money for. One is the down payment, second is closing cost, and third is the money it costs in order to evaluate the property. Let's talk about each of those 3. First, the down payment. For my fellow veterans, if you qualify for a VA loan, you can have as little as 0 money down. There are also USDA loans that if you're buying a property in a rural area and you qualify from an income perspective, you can get a loan for no money down. For pretty much everybody else, there's some money that you're going to have to put down. There are loans that are as low as 3.5% or 5% down. Again, talking to a lender is important at this stage. The lender will let you know what loan products are available to you and how much money you need to put down. The next big chunk of money we need to talk about is the closing costs. The closing costs will vary based on various factors, but you need to assume that you're going to need 2 to 3% of the sales price in closing costs as well. And sometimes it can go more than 3%. For instance, if the seller is not paying the buyer brokerage compensation, then you have to bring money to the table, and that could be another 2 or 3%. So it could be as high as 4 to 6% in closing costs that you need to bring to the closing table. Even if you're getting a VA loan or a USDA loan and aren't putting any down payment down, you still have to pay closing costs. Talk to your lender. They can give you a better idea of what your closing costs will look like. Once you go under contract for a home, the lender will give you a better estimate of what it will look like based on your closing date, etc. But it will be the closing attorney, at least in Georgia, that will let you know what the actual closing cost will look like. The third broad category of things that you'll need to be able to pay for is expenses related to evaluating the home. When you're under contract on a property, you will typically have a due diligence period. And during that period, you'll ask for a home inspection. You have to pay for that out of pocket. Budget between $500 and $600 for that home inspection. Based on the home inspection or your own personal preference, there may be other professionals that you want to bring in to evaluate the property, and some of those will charge a fee, such as a heating and air specialist, somebody to evaluate the septic tank, or radon testing. Some people also elect to have a survey done as part of purchasing a home. Additionally, the lender will require an appraisal to verify that the home is worth the sales price that you've agreed to. Budget another $600 for that appraisal. These fees come directly out of your pocket, and if you decide not to buy the home, you don't get that money back. So if you look at all these amounts, the down payment amount, the amount for closing costs, the amount to evaluate the property, you'll know how much money you need to have saved up before you make your purchase. The fourth thing on our checklist is to know your credit score. You're able to get your credit score from all three bureaus at least once a year. If you know your credit score is low, there are things you can do to improve your credit score in order to buy a house. Good lenders will connect you with good resources that can help you improve your credit. Not all of those people that help you repair your credit are created equal, so be sure to talk to your lender about who they recommend. If you think your credit score is already too low, go ahead and contact a real estate agent who can connect you with a lender and help you get started on getting a better credit score. There's much more to know about the current market in your area before purchasing a home, but these are the key important things that you need to know about as a first-time homebuyer. If you have some more questions or would like to see about working together in the North Metro area, give me a call. My number is 770-597-1108.